here this morning know that I happen to be married to this wonderful woman named Diane. She is a supportive partner, a nurturing mother, a dedicated educator. I think it is safe to say that I married up, and I'm lying. It's true. What maybe a few more of you might not know is that actually Diane's not my first wife. I am, among many things, a divorced man. And I will tell you that those years between when my first marriage began to unravel and when I was fortunate enough to marry Diane, those were some of the hardest years of my life. They were painful, scary years. They were years where my emotions ran from grief to shame and everything in between. I've come to sort of look back upon them as sort of wilderness years for me, you know, just a time in the wilderness. And I must tell you that I likely would not have navigated those years with whatever composure that I was able to grasp, if not for this wonderful counselor with whom I worked. He was a therapist and also a congregational minister by the name of Tim Wildman. And he said to me one thing that I'll never forget. He said to me, borrowing actually from an old Hotel 6 campaign ad, he said to me, no matter what you do, I know, sage advice, Hotel 6, right? But this is good. He said to me, no matter what you do, leave your love light on. It's pretty good advice for almost every challenge in life. He helped me through that time in the wilderness for sure. We catch Joshua speaking to Israelites today in that first lesson as they are completing their time in the wilderness. Actually, scholars tell us that this book of Joshua, it is one of a series of books that traces sort of the Israelites' history. This is the final installment. And in some ways, the words that we hear today speak both to a very particular moment in history and also a very general human experience. Time in the wilderness. The Israelites, for generations, have been in the wilderness. They fled their captors in Egypt, where the Pharaoh oppressed them and held them as slaves. They have had a rough time of it. They have fussed and feuded with each other. There's been internal conflict. They were near death from starvation. They worried and they wandered. They fought the Canaanites for this new land. And so this morning, they are on the brink of new life. About ready to write a new chapter. About ready to settle a new home. And what Joshua is saying to them, what he wants to know from them is this. Okay, so what God will you choose? What God will you serve? Now, it might seem like a funny question, but imagine, as they are in this wilderness time, imagine how they experienced more than 1 or 2 days of a crisis of faith. And in fact, their ancestors had known and worshipped a number of gods, not just the Lord God. There had been the notion that there were gods who sort of were specific to a certain land. And those gods, their ancestors believed, those gods had provided them with security and comfort. Those gods seemed to have some sense of agency. And so there was a number of gods from which they might choose. Joshua says, well, for me and my family, I know who I serve. What about you? Which gods will you choose? And amazingly, they say, the Lord our God. The same one as you, Joshua. I marvel a little bit that they make that choice, because think about the generations of suffering that they have endured. I mean, before they come to this moment, as I said, they had been imprisoned, enslaved, they had been lost, they had been wandering. I mean, think about all the pain and hardship. This time in the wilderness certainly seemed like a time when this Lord God was not present to them. And so who would have blamed them if they had chosen one of these other gods? Well, we're going to stake our claim with this one. It's kind of pretty and simple. Who would have blamed them, really? But they chose the Lord their God for two reasons. First, they understood that these other gods, they were lesser gods. They understood that these other gods, while they might have provided them a moment of relief, a moment of satisfaction, that they were limited to a time and a place, and they saw how those other gods ultimately failed their ancestors. And their ancestors were left to suffer. And second, they understood how the Lord God had been present with them wherever they were, in whatever land, in whatever season of life. They were able to trace their history, to look at their story and say, wait, this God, the Lord God, had not abandoned us here. This God, the Lord God, was with us there. They knew that it was the Lord God who had taken a barren and aged woman named Sarah and brought life from her that had started all the tribes of Israel. They knew that it was the Lord God who had taken a mighty Egyptian army and had covered them in the seas and brought the Israelites out of freedom. They knew that it was the Lord God who was waiting for them even now in His promised land. They were able to know their story and to see the trace of God's hand in all, in the good, the bad, and the ugly. They knew that this was not a God confined to time or space. This was a God who would be present with them in their birth, in their living, in their struggles, in their weeping, in their wanderings. This was a God that would be present with them throughout it all. And so they say, this is the God that I will choose. We're not people in exile, you and I. We have a pretty comfortable life, more or less. But I think that there's a similar choice put to us all the time. Which God will we choose? Which God will we serve? Because look, here's the thing. Our world, our culture gives us plenty of gods to choose from, right? Doesn't it? I mean, there's the God of money and material that seduces us into thinking that true and deep happiness comes because of, the bigger house or the nicer car or the bigger TV or what. There's the God of knowledge that tempts us to believe that we can calm our anxieties if we know everything. And that if we seek out certainties. And then there's even the God that we make of ourselves. I'm going to be in control. That way I don't have to count on anyone else. I'm going to take care of me and my people and not worry about anyone else. We're choosing what God to serve time and time and time again. Whether we're in the wilderness or whether we're in ordinary time. So what God do you want to serve? I do believe that we have a God who we might choose, who will be present to us in our wilderness times and in our good times, in our suffering and in our celebrations. I believe that God is present to us throughout it all. Look at your lives. Think about your journey. I believe you will find that to be true too. I believe that God was present to me in my so-called wilderness time. God was present to me in the bishop with whom I worked who encouraged me to choose life. God was present to me in the friends who kept company with me, even when, frankly, I wasn't very good company to keep. God was present to me in my therapist, Tim Wildman, who encouraged me to keep my love light on, even when my children didn't seem too interested in being on my front seat. God was present to me. God is present to me in the grace-filled opportunity I have to live into the covenant of marriage with Diane. I have no doubt, as hard and as uncertain and as fraught as that wilderness time for me was, I have no doubt that God is present to me. Just as I have no doubt that God is present to each one of us. The question is, which God will we choose? About the Israelites to whom Joshua spoke, Susan Henry Crowe, who's the dean of the chapel in Emory, wrote, "For a battle-worn, world-weary community, they understood this is a different kind of God. They glimpsed the one God who is present with them in birth, in death, in humiliation, in joy, in wandering, and in arrival. This God delights in the people and desires more than safety and plenty for them. This God desires for them new life." I have no doubt that this God desires for us the same. Let us choose life and choose this God. Amen.